Greetings, everyone. I am Uday Sharma from the Triple E Department of Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic wind energy's promise in offshore. The shift towards renewable energy sources is not an option as per the present global conditions. There are many renewable and sustainable options available for us, and wind energy is one of them. As the global carbon footprint is increasing and everyone are trying to shift towards the renewable options. Here, wind energy is one of the options to choose, which is renewable and also sustainable. The wind energy can be described as the energy harvested by the power of wind rotating the turbine and converting the mechanical energy to electrical. Simply, the arrangement of wind energy will be in such a way that turbine is placed in a windy or place where wind is breezed more. Due to the force of wind, the turbine rotates, which in a connection is connected with an generator. Generator uses the mechanical force from the turbine and converts it into the electrical energy, which is supplied to the the regular households. The one wind energy turbine on its full capacity can maximally serve up to a 1900 households. The wind energy is one of the forms of renewable energy, which is which is a renewable energy method or also a sustainable method. The types of wind energy systems. There are two types of wind energy systems: the onshore wind energy systems and offshore wind energy systems based on the placement of wind turbines. The onshore wind energy systems are the regular wind energy systems which we see on a daily basis and or to say which we see mostly. These are the most common type of wind energy system where the wind turbines are installed on the land body and mostly connected to the grid, and they provide the direct distribution of the power for usage. Mostly, the regular wind turbines are the onshore wind turbines. They generate electricity, which in turn are connected to the power supply method or the grid, which gives us to our home for our usage. And there are the offshore wind turbines or offshore wind energy systems. The offshore wind energy systems are the offshore wind energy systems contain wind turbines anchored to the seabed, as there are much stronger winds in the water bodies. In the water bodies, there are high winds with a high pressure. So the wind turbines are placed there for getting an higher output. The offshore wind energy system. The offshore wind energy is a renewable energy solution with enormous potential by placing wind turbines at sea in either shallow or deep waters. We can harness the power of the wind to generate electricity. Offshore wind energy presents several advantages over onshore wind energy system. One of the most significant benefits is the strength and consistency of wind resources at sea. Due to the high pressure created by the sea, there are high winds in the sea bodies. So, by placing the wind turbines there, we can generate the high amount of wind energy compared to the onshore wind turbines. Unlike onshore locations, which may have variable patterns, wind patterns, um, or places to choose from, offshore sites often experience more consistent and stronger winds. This results in higher energy yield, more reliable power and generation. Suppose if you place the onshore wind energy in the plains or hills or on the hills or near the plateaus, etc. There are and the winds changes based on the seasons, based on the places. But in the sea, the wind turbines or the wind energy systems are mostly consistent. The winds are mostly consistent and stronger. The offshore wind energy placement. The placement of the offshore wind energy systems is based on various factors as the offshore wind farms should be placed in areas with consistent and strong wind resources. These areas are often found along coastlines where offshore wind blows consistently. The water depth at the chosen location is a significant factor. In shallow waters, fixed bottom foundations are typically used. In deeper waters, floating wind turbines become more practical. This choice of foundation type affects the location. The distance from the shore impacts the cost of transmission and connection to the grid. Closer to the shore, wind farms are typically less expensive to connect, but has the environmental and navigational impact. And also, more other factors such as environmental impacts and grid connections are also considered. Here we can see the types of offshore wind turbines based on the water. Mostly, the ones with the fixed support are of shallow water. That is, water is less depth compared to this. Here, the water is less depth compared to these three. Here, the wind turbines are having fixed supports to the ground. They are placed in the shallow waters, but these are consisting in the seabeds with a floating supports to these turbines. As the depth increases, there are different types of floating supports such as semi-submersible, starboy, and tension lift platform. Global and national role in offshore energy. As per the recent studies, the global capacity of the offshore wind energy is over 57 gigawatts, where Europe is the largest producer of the offshore power, followed by China and United States. The offshore energy contributes around 10% of the total global wind energy capacity. The global and the national wind energy or offshore wind energy is a project implemented from December 2013 to March 2018 by a consortium led by Global Wind Energy Council or GWEC and supported by the European Union to assist India in its offshore wind power development and to in turn contribute to India's power transition towards use of clean technologies in power sector. Here we can see that how the global and our country's role is increasing and the result of offshore wind energy turbines are also increasing and it's getting recognized. Future scenarios of offshore. Offshore wind energy has a potential to play a major role in the world's transition to clean energy future. It is a clean, renewable, and abundant resource that can be harnessed to generate electricity without emitting greenhouse gases or other pollutants. The future promise of offshore wind energy is vast. The Global Wind Energy Council or GWEC estimates that offshore wind could generate up to 42,000 terawatts, 42,000 or 4 lakhs 20,000 terawatt hours or TWH of electricity per year, which is more than 18 times the current global scenario. As we can see here, if the offshore wind energy is properly utilized everywhere, it is more than efficient, or to say 18 times the current global electricity demand. This means the offshore wind energy could theoretically cover all of the humanity's electrical needs. There are several factors that are driving the growth of offshore wind energy. First, the cost of offshore wind has fallen dramatically in recent years, making it more competitive option for electricity generation. Secondly, Technological advancements have made it possible to build offshore wind turbines in deeper waters and harsher environments. Third, governments around the world are setting ambitious targets for renewable energy deployment, and offshore wind is seen as a key technology to help us meet these targets. The future of offshore wind is particularly bright in the United States. The US has the potential to become a global leader in offshore wind, with over 2,000 gigawatts of potential offshore wind capacity. The present administration has set a goal of deploying 30 gigawatts of offshore wind by 2030, and several states have also set ambitious offshore wind targets. India's future scenario in offshore wind energy. While India is still in the early stages of offshore wind development, there is a lot of progress being made. In 2022, the Indian government awarded its first offshore wind contract, totaling 1 gigawatt of capacity. These projects are expected to be operational by 2025. The Indian government has set an ambitious target for offshore wind deployment in 2050. The government released a national offshore wind energy policy setting a target of 5 gigawatts of offshore wind capacity by 2022 and 30 gigawatts by 2030. The factors to improve offshore wind energy. There are a number of factors which are helping to drive growth of offshore wind energy, such as falling costs. The cost of offshore wind have fallen dramatically in recent years, making it a more competitive option for electricity generation. Technological advancements. Technological advancements have made it possible to build offshore wind turbines in deeper waters and in harsher environments. This has expanded the areas where offshore wind can be developed. Increased demand for clean energy. There is a growing demand for the clean energy around the world as countries seek to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions and combat climate change. Thank you. This is Uday Sharma signing off.